All right, let's get into it. We're going to unpack a story that, on the surface, sounds like just another theme park rumor. But trust me, it's so much more than that. We're talking geopolitics, billion-dollar infrastructure, and a huge strategic gamble that could literally reshape one of Southeast Asia's biggest economies.
So let's dive right into the central puzzle, right? It connects two global players you'd probably never expect in the same sentence. How on earth does a high-speed train, a project that's been stuck on the drawing board for years,
suddenly become the key to building the next Disneyland? Well, the answer reveals this fascinating, high-stakes symbiotic bet that, and this is no exaggeration, could change Thailand's entire economic future.
The entire story really hinges on solving two very different, very expensive problems. On one side, you've got the Thai government staring down the barrel of a massive infrastructure project that's at risk of becoming a total failure. And on the other, you've got Disney, looking for a safe harbor in an increasingly volatile world. So first up, let's break down Thailand's massive headache. We're talking about a state-of-the-art, high-speed rail line, a huge project designed to connect three major airports.
So this train is supposed to be the backbone of Thailand's Eastern Economic Corridor, this special zone that's meant to be the country's high-tech future. But there was a huge problem. For years, the whole thing was stalled. The private consortium building it, a huge company called the CP Group, was getting nervous about pouring in billions without a solid guarantee that millions of people would actually ride this thing. Without that guarantee, the train was, for all intents and purposes, a train to nowhere.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, wow, the civil works alone are valued at over 1 trillion baht. I mean, that's an astronomical number. With that much cash on the line, you can see why the Thai government absolutely could not afford for this thing to become a ghost train. They needed a game changer, and they needed one fast.
Now let's jump halfway across the world, where Disney was facing its own big strategic challenge. The company was definitely looking to expand, but, its options were kind of complicated.
So even though they had a deal signed in Abu Dhabi, reports were coming out that Disney's board was getting pretty concerned about the regional volatility in the Middle East. Let's be honest, major American brands can be high-value targets there, and that drives up insurance costs, it drives up brand protection risks, all of it. So they were actively looking for a stable plan B. And Thailand, with its diplomatic neutrality and strong ties to pretty much everyone, the US, China, the Middle East, it looked like the perfect zero-risk zone.
And just as important, if you look at a map of Disney parks, there was this massive hole. As Thailand's Deputy Prime Minister pointed out, the entire Southeast Asian market, that's over 600 million people, was completely wide open. So Thailand saw this incredible opportunity to be the one to fill that gap.
So here it is. This is where these two massive problems, a train with no passengers and a brand seeking a safe home, they converge into one really elegant solution. And experts have a name for it, the Disney Catalyst.
It's actually a brilliant concept when you think about it. You don't build a theme park just for the ticket sales. No, you build it to create this unstoppable force of economic gravity. The park becomes a magnet so powerful that it guarantees the success of everything around it, especially that stalled high-speed rail line.
And this is where you see just how perfectly everyone's needs line up. It's a win-win-win. The government gets its legacy project, and it can finally justify that massive infrastructure spending. The private investors, they get a flood of guaranteed passengers for their train, completely de-risking their investment. And Disney, well, they get a secure foothold in a booming, untapped market. It's a perfect trifecta.
Okay, so we've got the why. Now let's look at the how and the where. Because the plan isn't just to build a theme park, it's to build an entire city designed for it. The proposed site is a brand new smart city called EE City, which they envision as the capital of this whole Eastern Economic Corridor. We're talking about a 1.34 trillion baht development with a huge plot, 3,000 rai, set aside just for the park, plus a massive sports and entertainment complex right next door. And here's a crucial detail. Officials have made it crystal clear there will be no casino. That's a key condition to keep everything aligned with Disney's family-friendly brand.
And the potential economic payoff? It's enormous. Projections are showing the creation of over 100,000 jobs, more than 150 billion baht in revenue every single year, and over 10 million new visitors annually. Some estimates even say it could boost Thailand's entire annual GDP growth by a full percentage point. That's huge.
But of course, all this magic comes with a pretty hefty price tag, around 300 billion baht. So the big question is, who's going to pay for it? This brings us to the most crucial part of the entire deal, the investment model.
Okay, so this table really shows you the core of the bed. See, Disney, they rarely fund their international parks 100% anymore.
It's just not how they do business these days. So the most likely scenario by far is the one at the bottom, licensing. You might have heard it called the Tokyo model. And in this model, well, Disney doesn't actually put up the cash to build the park.
Instead, the risk, all 300 billion baht of it, falls on Thailand's own private sector. Big-time conglomerates like CP Group or Asset World Corp would be the ones to fund, build, and operate the entire thing. They'd pay Disney massive royalties for the license to use the brand, the characters, the magic, all of it, while the Thai government's job is to provide the land and make sure all that infrastructure is ready to go.
So this all sounds incredible, right? Like a masterstroke of economic planning. But, and it's a big but, it all hinges on pulling off one of the most complex logistical challenges you can possibly imagine. And here's the catch. Real success isn't just about signing a piece of paper with Disney. No, it's about orchestrating a perfectly synchronized grand opening. Just look at this timeline. The expanded airport, the local monorail, the high-speed rail, and the park itself. They all need to come online at almost the exact same time, somewhere around 2030 or 2031.
Any delay in just one of those pieces could create a fatal flaw in the whole structure. I mean, if the train isn't ready, nobody can get to the park. That was a super costly mistake that plagued Hong Kong Disneyland in its early years. That execution risk is by far the biggest hurdle. Right behind that is political risk. Can you maintain support over decades? And of course, the business model risk of asking a private company to foot such a massive bill.
At the end of the day, this incredible symbiotic bet between a government, its private sector, and a global entertainment giant is truly one of the boldest economic plays we've seen this decade. Which leaves us all with one final, fascinating question to think about. Is this a nation-building masterstroke, or is it the world's most expensive and maybe most magical house of cards?